How to become an audio engineer. Brought to you by jobsearchchannel.com.
All right, you guys, what's going on today? So today we're going to be talking about the question of who is Reba McEntire's music producer. Now, I've been learning about music production for just over 10 years now, though I'm still learning every single day. I think music production is one of those things that when you get into it, you have to realize, and I think the music industry in general really is one of those things when you get into it, you need to quickly realize that it's ever-changing, it's ever-evolving, both on the business side and the technology side, and really the whole landscape in general. I think it's very, very important that we are always asking questions and seeking out new answers, because you truly never know when something new is going to pop up, and the last thing you want is to be behind the curve. Now, I got started in music because it's always been a huge passion of mine ever since I can remember, even though music production wasn't necessarily a huge passion of mine at first. I actually began as a singer and guitarist. I was playing in different bands here and there, touring across the U.S., doing that whole thing. And I kind of wanted to get in on the music production side to see what it was all about. I'd always kind of had this interest in music production, though I didn't really know much about it and didn't really know where to start. And so I ended up going to school. I studied music there, studied music theory, got out on the other side, and began doing a couple internships at some studios around Los Angeles, where I eventually got spat out on the other side and got a full-time job as a music producer, composer, and writer at a sync production studio here in Los Angeles. And that's pretty much what I have been doing for the past 2 years, and it's amazing, more than amazing. Now, you might want to know the answer to the question of who is Reba McEntire's music producer, because, let's face it, Reba McEntire is one of the biggest country artists, and female country artists specifically, in the world, and she has been for a very, very long time. I mean, going back to the early 70s and into now, she has just really made one of the biggest marks in country music, alongside the ranks of artists like Tim McGraw and Lady Antebellum and so on and so on. So if we're talking about the music production for Reba McEntire, we really can't talk about it without mentioning Jimmy Bowen. So Jimmy Bowen is an American record producer. He's been around for quite some time, and he's also a former rockabilly singer. He actually began as a teenage recording star back in 1957 with I'm Stickin' With You. It was a flip side to a Buddy Knox record, and it really hit the chart on its own, which is impressive. That's kind of how he got his start in the music industry, and kind of decided to instead pivot over to the music production side. He launched an independent record label, which is known as Amos Records, and that lasted until 1971. He eventually left Los Angeles for Nashville and kind of took to the country music scene that was out there, where he had some really, really major successes. I mean, he worked with artists such as Glenn Campbell, Kenny Rogers, Hank Williams Jr., the Oak Ridge Boys, George Strait, Kim Carnes, and eventually moved his way into working with Reba McEntire. He pretty much defined the country sound for quite some time. And I think if you're someone who is into that classic country sound, you should definitely know about Jimmy Bowen. He is someone you must look up. All right, guys, that's pretty much it for today. If you guys have any questions, please check the description and hit the link to get in touch with us, and talk soon. All right, take it easy.